Mary Anthony, say hi.
Good morning.
Ricky Federici, say hi. I'm just kidding. I love you. It's a wide shot of us guys and gals. Great day to be alive. Woo!
It sure is.
It is time for Chamber Corner. We have to come up with, ladies, a theme of sorts. Maybe we could do a contest, and maybe we give away some really cool stuff.
Well, we have a ton of talented musicians and stuff in the area.
Yes.
So
you're
how
right.
long would we be thinking? Like 20 seconds?
I would say 60 just to have a bed. And
60?
in the business
Okay.
of bed is the music that trails under you after introductions. Is that nice how I explain it? Man.
That would be so cool, wouldn't it? Just submit, come up with something, submit it to Rick.
Right, Rick, RIC at WIMSradio.com.
And then, just for fun, and then we will say your name every time there's a Chamber Corner. Hey, thank you to blah, blah for...
Brenda V. Whoever it is.
Okay, whoever. But that would be so cool. That would be a great idea.
All right, so Maura, it is so good to have. This is the inaugural debut show.
Yes,
right
yay.
here on Living the Life. Let's chat a little bit. Introduce yourself. Obviously, Maura, no stranger, a family member, and we love you as a partner. Talk about it.
You guys, yeah, it's so nice to be here and have like a staple like once a month. I'm so excited. So there's so much stuff to share when it comes to not only running a chamber, but being part of a community. So we talked about it in the office as far as how we wanted to go about really just educating everyone on kind of how to run a town and how to be part of a community, how to get your questions answered, who does what, where. So we said, this is something that we would love to partner with you guys on and really be able to, answer those questions and maybe bring some of those projects that people are going, you're driving down Highway 49, you're going, what the heck's going on over there? And you just see all this hustle and bustle, but no one really knows maybe what project is actually going to unfold there, for months and months. And we might have already known for, a long period of time. So we're here to share. So this is going to be the platform to, share all the great inside scoop of what's going on.
We love
it. Yeah, absolutely. And I know that Mary Anthony and myself are very excited because it's not only about the area, but it's also about business development, how we can all interconnect and work together as communities, plural. And you and I were just chatting about this as Maura and I and you were jumping into the studio.
Right. I was asking you, Maura, what towns do you cover?
So Duneland is the town of Chesterton, the town of Porter, the town of Burns Harbor, and then we also have the residential communities of Beverly Shores and Dune Acres.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there's about 13,000 households within 46304, 46301 zip codes.
Now, I want folks to know this because if you haven't been down into the beautiful historic portion of Chesterton, Thomas Centennial Park, absolutely stellar. Where the ladies are at, Maura and the crew, is absolutely stunning. It's a real cool, got a neat edge to it. Maura, I'd love for you just, for sake of discussion, let everybody know in our WIMS extended family where you guys are located at. So I want them to kind of keep this in the back of their head, and we'll continue to keep, all this great information out there.
So the Duneland Chamber is located in downtown Chesterton. So we're actually located at 220 Broadway Ave, which is adjacent to Thomas Centennial Park. So when we come on the show and we talk about all of our events, we host quite a few of them in Thomas Centennial Park, but it's the historic downtown part. But just because we're in downtown Chesterton, we encompass all these other towns, and we want to make sure that we have a presence there, and those communities have a voice. But then our members, we have members in, I believe, 7 different states because people travel and they still want to be connected. So, we're so close to Illinois and Michigan and Ohio. We really run the gamut. So we really just try to hear everyone's feedback and just kind of work within that area. But we're located in Chesterton.
What would you say, Maura, when describing what a chamber does? Each
Perfect.
One are different.
That's a great question.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I definitely think the people want to know, what is a chamber? What is the point of a chamber? What is the goal of a chamber?
Well, and I'll have to start with every chamber is different. So we're organized. Somewhat we're organized the same, but so the Duneland Chamber specifically wears multiple hats. So where some communities might have their own festival and events group, Really the town or the towns within the Duneland community does not. So we pretty much we run the gamut of all the festival and events that go through the chamber office. And that's really, so to your point of what a chamber does, is we want to have that quality of life for all of our residents and our tourists that are coming into the area. So that's one of our loves, is our festival and events. The other one is member business to business education. So we have just under 500 members, and we have so for the past few years, which we've grown exponentially over the past 5 years. I want to say we've almost doubled in membership. So we've had, a lot of growth, and we're hearing a lot of things of what our members want from the chamber. So it's a lot of, what do you guys need for us to educate? So then what we do is bring seminars to the area where, it could be anything from succession planning to emotional intelligence to a team building. We just did a team building yesterday in our group. So we try to practice what we preach as well, and kind of live it and breathe it. So we really know what the businesses are asking us for. So the membership portion, and then we also house economic development. So the DEDC. I don't want to throw out too many acronyms.
Okay, we all want to learn.
So the DEDC is the Duneland Economic Development Corporation, and that started as a committee underneath the chamber, and now it's its own corporation where we're a 501c3. So then we also facilitated all of the facade grants for the past 10 plus years in the Duneland area. Nice. So when it comes to economic development, we also have a piece in that, in that puzzle for the area under the chamber umbrella. So as president of the chamber, I'm also president of the Duneland Economic Development Corporation, and then also the local economic development official, or the LEDO, in this in the Duneland area.
Wow. Can I ask how long you've been in this role, and how did you get involved? I mean, honestly, it's how did you get, find your way to this, and then really just, obviously you thrive in this area, and I'm just interested to know how you got there.
So my degree was in advertising through Ball State. Chirp, chirp.
Oh, okay.
So I started off working at the Times Media Company, and my territory was in Chesterton. So I hooked up immediately with the chamber president, Heather Ennis, at the time, and it was a really good relationship between us. Got on their committees, got involved, right?
Sure.
So started on their ambassador committee, because what better way to meet all of the local businesses than to get on a committee and be able to say, you're part of the group, and meet them as the media official. But then we just worked really well together. And when the membership director position came available, she had called me and asked. And at that point, I had already moved on to another marketing company, went home, had babies, stayed at home. I was playing Martha Stewart when she called me and said, come back. And we had breakfast together, and I'm talking about my babies and so excited. And she's going, oh, you're not ready to come back to work, are you? And I'm like, oh, were we interviewing for a position?
Oh.
And so then she touched base with me, because I wasn't at that time, I was I was having fun, making dinner every night and cleaning and just loving on my babies. So when the time came, I ended up accepting the position as membership director. And then, and at that point, she even asked me, she goes, are you interested in my position at one point? I'm looking, I've been here for 5 years. I need to look for the next director too. That's something that the board has asked me to do. And I said, absolutely, I want your job.
Yeah.
And so when the time came, and she ended up taking the lead for the area for economic development for Northwest Indiana, I stepped into her role. I interviewed for it. There was a couple of candidates, and they thought that I was, a good fit for the position, and I already knew the members. And so it was really nice to be able to, transition into it. But I've had to build my team, and hired Beth right away after that as the membership director, and just kind of kept building from there. And so I have to say that, being a strong director is really surrounding yourself with a lot of strong teammates too, because, I don't have that much experience when it comes to it. So, it was very experienced in the chamber world, I would say. But really economic development, it's still putting those pieces together. And that's why I think it's so interesting to educate everyone, the process that I'm learning going through it. It's hard, and then once someone transitions and you lose all of that education. So I just find this chamber corner to be so important to be able to share.
Yeah. So what can we expect as we, go through the different, shows. Each and every month you guys will be here. We've got very specific dates we want folks to know about.
Yep.
We're going to basically be doing it the first Thursday of every month.
That's
and
right.
we'll keep people updated on that. But what can we expect from Maura and the crew during this segment, Chamber Corner?
So one of our ideas is to bring on guests because obviously it's a team effort, right? So I was talking about how the chamber wears, 3 different hats, but then you talk about what's the town involvement, what's this DEDC group's involvement that I talked about. The town has their own groups. They just formed their reformed their CEDC group, which gives small business loans out, which they haven't even rolled that out yet. So that's something that, like, inside scoop.
Yeah.
Like, if you have a project, so normally for the facade grants or for the exterior improvement grants that we did, it was only the exterior of the building. Now there's a way to get help from the town to do the interior where there's you need
That's
that help.
incredible.
That really is.
Yeah.
So that's something that hasn't been rolled out. They're still working on their process. I've shared our information on how we go through our grant process, but they're reviving something that has probably been dormant for, maybe 10 years.
Wow.
So there's a process in place and people hear about it and they're like, come on, let's do it. But it's like, okay, let's figure this out. So they're working that out. So I guess I'm going, I would love to bring the town manager on. What does his day look like? What does our city or our town engineer do? What does Paul Boyder is my chairman of the Duneland Chamber, and so you can kind of see how all this weaves in together. He's the general manager at Macaulay Real Estate. Well, then he gets the inside scoop of going, hey, Maura, do you realize that we just sold the property behind you, which are those old train cars?
Oh, my gosh.
Right?
That is incredible.
So, but no one knows that, right?
Is that for
because,
real?
that is for real. Inside scoop. You heard
Wow.
it here.
Wow.
Seriously.
So huge, right?
Yes.
So hopefully I can bring in that owner. He's been hopping around. He's been going to like the redevelopment commission meetings. He's been going to the town, which is way cool because it's someone you could tell it's already a business owner that is wanting to be in the know,
Involved.
wanting to know how getting things done right. So hopefully I can bring on him to talk about what his vision is for his group. We sold the 101 building, the Antiques 101 building, and 4th Street Post Office. So 2 huge historical buildings that, the 101 is the pillar of our, Calumet and Broadway. That is the building in
Wow.
town. Sold. So hopefully I can have that person come in, maybe talk about what the vision
really
is. So lots of stuff that, sometimes you get sad kind of driving through and you're kind of going, what's going on? Or you're not in the know. And it's like, there's things bubbling and it's so exciting. We also have another group called the Chesterton Branding Leadership Team. And they have a huge focus. There was a study done a few years back. Michigan City went through a similar study, and they've been rocking it, right? So we dusted off those plans and said, what still needs to get done? And so there's a group of individuals that are focusing on that, very art focused, because that was the theme of our or the brand of Chesterton. So we're looking at different ways to infuse that. So just excited to have those people come in to really share their passion too. But it takes the chamber and the chamber corner really to kind of pull all those people together because we have our hands in a little bit of everything. So again, I'm not the expert on all of it, but I know enough to get me in trouble.
And the
right?
people. Well, and the people to connect to find out what you need to know.
Yes.
So you said you guys have currently 500 members?
We are just under 500.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is incredible. How could someone, so if a new business is going, coming to Chesterton, or someone that's been there for a while, or any of these areas, and interested in finding out about possibly joining, how do they do that?
They could always call and stop in. Call or stop in.
Okay.
So we're a really, really small office. There's only a handful of us, so we will all sit down and walk through the benefits because at the end of the day, you're purchasing, a membership
Right.
and you want to know the value of it. So again, we do so much more, and that's why we're here to kind of talk about all the things that you don't see that aren't maybe directly related to your business, but directly affects your business when it comes to quality of life and all that. But to be a member, it's, we do dues based on employee count. So, anywhere from 1 to 4 employees. So, anywhere from starting from $275 up to $1,000 if you have, 100 plus employees. And then all it is an application process. And it's so easy. And but really it's kind of the idea of what do they need from us?
Mm-hmm.
You know, what are their business needs? And then that way we can pinpoint them, because some people might want the marketing and the advertising and the networking, where, you know, great, we have a Duneland Today magazine and we own a billboard on 49, and we can, you know, we can market you out if that's what you need. Or there's some of the other ones that, you know, they have more, you know, more needs where it comes to, hey, I own my business and yeah, I'm trying to prepare my kids, you know, to own the business, or I'm having financial difficulty and can you put me in touch with some, you know, with the ISBDC who does free consulting in my office.
Wow.
So it's like, what, you know, what's their needs and how can we help?
I think this is
fabulous.
really neat as we look at small, medium, large business, the Duneland Chamber. Just hearing Maura speak just over the last few minutes, I get excited.
Well,
as a
I do
small
too. You know,
business guy
just
because it's so
well, the
phenomenal.
support I think is key to keeping a business. There's so much involved. It literally is overwhelming sometimes just to think about it, and even just in regular discussions with Rick, all that's involved in keeping things going can be very overwhelming. And so to know you have the support behind you and the resources and connections to these other people that can, you know, they may not be able to swoop in and fix it, but they can help you along the way, help you learn how to do that. So.
And I would say that that's one of the most positive things that I can say with working in the Duneland area is that, you know, we're small, you know, small, lean, mean fighting machine. Like, I mean, you can get involved with any of these groups and they are so willing to sit down and talk to you.
Yes.
I mean, you can have an issue with your business, but you will be able to sit down with that person that could really end up either solving you or pointing you in the right direction. And they are willing to give that appointment to you.
I want to throw this out there too. If folks want some more information, as we know, folks will have pictures. We'll share this video a little bit later. Obviously, you're listening to it live on the live stream and on WIMS AM 1420 95.1 FM. Give them a call. Call any one of the ladies, Maura, Beth, any one of them, 219-926-5513.
Thank you. Yeah.
And I want to throw that out there. We do have direct links to our Duneland Chamber of Commerce. And I really want to say, absorb, step back, and really, it is so wonderful, your investment in our community through these different things and things we present here at WIMS, but especially like the Duneland Chamber and more and the crew. It is phenomenal. You see these ladies and their team members at work on events year-round, and then business seminars and speed networking and just unbelievable events that really keep you in the eyes of each other, you know, as businesses. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I am curious. I don't know if you even can answer this, but what if someone from outside of the Duneland area would contact you? Are you able to direct them to their own chamber, or how does that work?
So I'm part of a group called the ICEA, which is the Indiana Chamber Executive Association, and so are a lot of our other chambers in this area, which is, it's so nice for the camaraderie. So we share, you know, we share our resources. You know, it's all about building each other up.
Right.
For that. So yeah, absolutely. I have a good relationship with especially the ones, you know, that surround me. So Michigan City, we're doing a joint ribbon cutting here in the next couple weeks. We just did a joint ribbon cutting with Valpo and the Portage Chambers for Journey Senior Living over there by the hospital that just opened. So we have, there's you know, an extensive group that we can reach out to, and that, or I could reach out to that person.
That's nice.
Yeah, or at least tell them, you know, this is how it works in my area.
Yeah,
this is the way that I would probably approach that situation.
That's nice. You know, if someone just doesn't know where to go and hears this today and says, I'm going to call. At least they can get some sort of answer and direction, which is really generous of you.
Well, I just want folks to know we will definitely have more insight to this. Maura will be joining us with special great guests throughout the year.
And if any listeners have, you know, a more specific question that you would like us to ask, let us know. Let us know, and we will definitely do that, and we'll let you know, and we'll discuss it then next, you know, the following month. So.
Good. Yeah, there's lots of projects popping up. There's lots of buildings popping up there, you know, so I'm excited to talk about it all.
I am so most excited. I don't know if you saw my face.
You get excited.
I was like, I got giddy when Maura was talking about even some of the development around where the chamber areas in the Thomas Centennial Park and the strategic historic buildings off of 4th. And it's like, this is crazy.
It's a hot area. I mean, it really is. So,
Chesterton
you know.
and surrounding areas. Yeah. Absolutely beautiful. And let's just be honest here. A hop, skip, and jump away from that gorgeous lake.
That's it.
So many phenomenal businesses connected to 94 and surrounding big arterials like
Right.
the toll road and stuff like that.
That's why it's so
blows me
important
away.
to keep these, to support our chamber and our businesses, because there is a lot of opportunity to bring in tourists,
Absolutely.
and stuff. So good
So,
deal.
Yeah, we didn't even start talking about the developments happening like over there by Coffee Creek Preserve. We're talking restaurants and a couple other things.
Okay,
but we
so-
might have
That is
to
exciting.
we might have to use that as a tickler for the next year.
Yeah, there we go.
Maura, on the final thought stage here today, do you have anything that you would like to kind of end with, throw out there, and kind of leave with our WIMS audience with Chamber Corner this morning?
It's just thank you for your support. Just remember, support your community. Get involved. Get involved. If you're passionate about what you do or your area or your quality of life, or you're doing it for your kids, the best thing is just to dig in.
Even if you don't know where to
Absolutely cool.
start, contact you and find out.
Yeah.
I think that's
There's
awesome.
always a place for someone for some kind of help for anything. So
You're
thank
absolutely
you.
awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
for what you do
much.
for all of our communities.
Thank you guys. You guys rock. Love you.
Take
Thank
care.
you. Love
Thanks.
you more. All right.